Are you serious? Are you serious? I want to thank Reverend Gary and Mike Dell and My Peace is Jesus and several other people for some really good research this morning. Thanks all of you, all of you. Christianity is exploding in China, and the Communist Party of China is not happy about it. That's an actual picture right there from July 16th, 2014, as church members are secretly praying in a private room. It's known as the underground church. There's nothing secret about the Shanghai church in China. It's one of the largest churches in China. Its lighted steeple, its giant cross, penetrating the night sky. But nearly everything at the church is conspicuously open. The front gate, the front door, the sanctuary, the people, the clergy. Chinese or not, you are welcome 7 days a week. No layers of security guards or police exits like you normally would find in most places of China. But the Chinese government realizes that the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ, the gospel of Jesus Christ, is exploding in China. And matter of fact, by the year, at the rate it's going, by the year 2030, China will have the most Christians of any nation in the world at its current pace. But most of these Christians are underground, private, unauthorized churches. Now, China's government does allow a few churches that are sanctioned by the church, but of course have to be screened by the church, scrutinized. What they preach, their presentation of it. Most of the Christians in China don't want to be under this scrutiny and doctrinal scrutiny of the powerful message of Jesus Christ. So underground churches, first of all, they can't get permits to have a church. They apply and they can't get them, all right? So China's trying to give the appearance that Christianity is legal in their country, and they don't want people to say we outlaw it. So they allow so many churches, and those churches have to follow or stay under the thumb of the government, the federal government. But the secret churches that are hidden underground, hide it away, private rooms. I even have reports of Christians meeting in caves, literally underground, 1,000 at a time, preaching from one page of the Bible that they somehow got smuggled in. This is what's really happening. Dr. Lester Sumrall, back in the 1930s, went to China and Tibet and Nepal, and he preached in mainland China and Taiwan, and said that, he was an evangelist from America as a young man, preaching, riding a mule, preaching in villages. They were hungry for the word, even though it was under communist rule. He got away with it. He would preach and didn't move on. He stayed under the radar. You're in a different time now with cell phones and the internet and computers, where it's be extremely difficult to pull something like that off now. But the church world in China is growing. Their faith is extremely powerful. Why? Because as you've heard me preach, the latter-day church will be more powerful than the early church. And here's why. Because where there's great persecution, there's always great power. I can tell you right now, the church in China is one of the most powerful churches, groups of Christians in the world. So are the Christians in Syria under the persecution of ISIS. The Christians in Iraq under the persecution of ISIS. The Christians in Pakistan under the persecution of radical jihadists. The Christians in India, I was there, under the persecution of Hindus, radical Hindus. I preached in India and had a gun stuck to my head, an M16, after my first sermon. I preached to 3,000 people in the middle of the jungle under a tent, and hundreds were saved. They let me finish. I prayed for the sick for over 2 hours, and then 4 Hindu policemen walked up and stuck an M16 rifle under my chin and took my wallet, my passport, my Bible, and was in the process of arresting me. My crime? Preaching an outdoor meeting without a permit from the government. Fortunately, the pastors that were there bribed the police officers and paid them off, or I'd be rotting somewhere in some Indian jail. What I'm trying to tell you is, where there's great persecution, there's great power. The American church could be the most powerful church in the world if it understood its great blessing and opportunity. These people are risking their lives to have service, to actually get together and to pray and to preach and to worship the Lord. In America, we won't walk down the street. We won't walk to the corner. We won't assemble. You know what the Lord said to do? Paul said in the last days, forsake not the assembling of yourselves together, and even the more so when you see the day approaching. Now on the internet, what I'm trying my best to do in my online church, because I realize people are all over the world, different places, and many of the churches are stagnant and stale, unfortunately, deader than a doorknob. So we gather people every day, 6 days a week for live broadcasting with an online church that's on fire, and people are getting saved on a daily basis because they're hungry. And many of them are with us live every day from several nations, usually 15 to 20 different nations every day. There's a hunger for the end time message. Christ is coming soon. Would you guys start praying right now for our brothers and sisters in China? Pray for these people. Pray for them, millions of them, for the oppression that they're under. All they want to do is pray to Jesus. Are you saved? When you stand in judgment, my friend, how are you going to explain why you didn't accept Christ? How are you going to explain it? Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time.